see the grass is over there. If you're not doing anything to protect the land you live on, to protect nature, what will you do when it's gone? What will the quality of your life be? What will the quality of your children's life be? They're going to look at you and think, why didn't you do anything when you had the chance? And what are you doing about keeping this planet immaculate? Don't leave your garbage on the ground or at sea. I think it's disgusting when they find fishing wire in the ocean or a body of water that doesn't belong there, because you're putting many other lives at risk. This planet isn't a playground to just grow up and do what you've always done and believe in the same old beliefs you were fed to believe. This for all of us. Listen to it speak to you, feel it, feel it through your heart. You live within nature. We don't cut it down so that you can do whatever you please. Nature isn't here for that. Why don't you meditate on that and see what happens? We always you want to understand the weather, then understand what you are doing to it. Are you recycling? Are you turning everything into compost? Are you planting to feed the pollinators, the wildlife, and people? If not, what's going to happen is what you see happening. You go to a market and you're forced to pay their prices because they wanted you to live in an area where you would have to do that. And when you go to a market and it has limited selection of better quality food, then what? I recently was talking to someone this morning about it. This market opens up at 7 o'clock and closes at 10. There's another market that opens at 6 and closes at 11. When I talked with someone about the market, they wanted to make up some lame story about how they were giving the food that they throw every single day to someone that got sick and they were sued, which is an outrageous lie. Because when I asked for where the facts and the proof are on that to prove it to me, they couldn't do it. I said, that's just what they're feeding you to get away with what they're doing. The landfills here are higher than what I went to see the butterfly world, just to see what goes on over there, to see how well they're being taken care of, to see how many species were there, because these pollinators matter. And what happened was the landfill that's right across the street from the butterfly world is higher than the butterfly world building. And now if these markets are contributing to that and making up lame stories as to why they can't give the food away at night, then there's part of the problem. There are many hungry people around here, homeless people. There are many hungry animals. Now each market can do a world of good by seeing what they can do in their own neighborhood for all those that are there. Because each market that is a market has taken from another business and put them out of business. For instance, there were many health food stores along this one strip. In a very hip town up north. And anyone could just go in there and get whatever they wanted. And they would even prepare it right there on the spot. These markets come in and take over and then put all those health food stores out of business. And what have some of these markets done? Or is it just for their own profit? Are they pushing addiction, or are they pushing wellness? Just take a look at the size of their liquor store. Take a look at their cigarette and cigar section. Take a look at the meat section. Take a look around and see how many products are there that are actually environmentally safe. I feel that all products that are paper, that do not, that aren't thoughtful with that and aren't careful, and they're a problem because they're not caring about the well-being of the trees. They're just caring about their own profit. They should be ripped off the shelves and their business should cease to exist. Because they are the ones, some of them, taken from nature. No one has a right to take from nature unless you ask everyone in the community that lives there if it's okay, because no one owns the land. And then I went to this area that was, I've never been to, but I only went partially in to speak to people, to let them know what they're doing. They had beautiful, magnificent, giant trees, and they're being cut. Some of them were being cut down, and for what? And I told them, you have to speak out about this. You have to protect these trees. You have to protect these living beings. If not, that karma's on you for not doing anything about it. If you see garbage on the ground and you don't pick it up, what does that say about you? If you leave your trash in the ocean for another being to get trapped in when it has its own family, that's on you. And I see in the area they like to only have you bring your bottles to the market so that you can recycle. Now, what is that really saying? Is that being nosy to find out what other people are buying? Why should I have to bring my bottles all the way to the market, which I have, to dispose of, if they don't have, if the container that they're putting them in is no bigger than a garbage can? If you expect everyone from the area to bring bottles, you better have a space big enough to handle it. Also, I didn't see a space for glass. They should also have that too. And if they want to push cigarettes and disgusting habits, then they should have a space for that too, so people aren't throwing their cigarettes on the ground for another living being to think it's food and eat it. I seen a cat run off with a plastic bag. Now, the last time I checked, if you eat plastic, what happens? And how many of you go out and feed the animals that are hungry? How many of you go and see what's going on in nature and protect it? How many of you go out and replant trees or flowers? Because like I said, I was videotaping a meadow that was absolutely beautiful. It was wild, it was free, and what happened was I was recording the pollinators just having a field day over there, and it was so peaceful, and so beautiful, so colorful, so alive. It's just so filled with just energetic love and everything else. It's like you stepped into another world. I go back weeks later and they cut it down saying, oh, there was an invasive species here, we had to cut it down, and then they threw trash on top of it. Not only did they lie, they raped the land, disrespected the land, and threw trash on top of it. Now everyone that was involved in that decision, that crime was on them. And there'll be no escaping that. And the last 2 times I put up videos, I had to take them down because it was too much information. An outrageous lie. What do? If someone were to pay you, bribe you, to say untruths about others for a profit, who are you? What do? What decisions do you make? Do you believe in the bullshit that you're being fed about the gossip of another that probably, definitely, most definitely isn't even true? Or do you protect that one that they are trying to ruin their reputation and put them in their place? Are you easily bought and sold? Are you easily manipulated? Are you easily controlled? Who are you when that happens? When you see others, things that have happened to others that you know isn't right, and just because you're surrounded by everybody else who is doing it, and there's a lot of people doing that, do you separate yourself and say, no, I don't want no part of corruption? Or are you no different? If I had my way, corruption would be wiped off the face of this earth, and all those who are corrupt would be permanently and forever sent back to the realm they came from, never to find their way back here again, because they made their choice. They made their bed, now they lay in it. because they didn't make the decisions that were for the highest and best of anything. They only made decisions that they were making a profit on at the expense of everything else. Like I've said before, there are many different kinds of beings on this planet. Who are you wrapping yourself up into? Me, I'd rather be alone than to be with anyone that's corrupt. But you do you. Meditate and sit with that for a while. Let me know how it feels. You can email me at reinadhabsborg@gmail.com. If you'd like me to do an energy reading, send me a pic. Please like, share, and subscribe. The more people this reaches, the better. And there is more power in peace than war. If everyone around the world meditated at the same time every day, whatever location you live in, and you did that, see what happens. Stay on top of it. Stay focused on your alignment, on your vibration, and still in your mind. Let me know how you do. I was talking with someone yesterday, and I was sharing with them some information that could really help them. And they seem like a sweet, quiet person. And I asked them if they ever meditated. They said yes, but they were on and off with it. So I talked to them for a while, and then I wrote them some information when they have some free time to look into. And then I spoke with somebody just the other day about it, when they asked me a question and had stopped me. So I'm out there telling others, sharing with others about their alignment, about their vibration, about stilling the mind. And how important it is to do that. And to help you to see what's going on in the world around you. You can't do this work after you're dead and gone. Will you be able to do this work if nature's gone? I feel that if one more tree is cut down you've never meditated before, by all means do it in nature. But please, when you do that, show up arriving there with love and gratitude and respect. I would see what messages you receive from that, and thank nature for all that it has done for you, is doing, and continuing to do, and wrap your arms around that tree and say thank you. See that tree, how much you love and care for it, and how much it matters to you. And then ask its permission if you can sit there and meditate with your back up against it. And when you do that, let all thought go. Sit in stillness and focus on your breathing. And take as long as you need. And when you're ready to leave, make sure you hug that tree and say thank you. And remind that tree how much you appreciate it, how much it matters. And do it also for the ground you walk on. This plant is a living being. She deserves the love and respect from all of us for how she has supported all of us through these years. And thank the sun. Without the sun, where would we be? And the sky is just as important. If you have anything you care to share or a comment, you can put it in the description box below or email me. How I was contacting people no longer works because my phone bill is $3,600 because I have two phones that were supposed to be transferred onto the new one. But no one around here can do it. I have to go hours out of my way to get this done. Because I have used up all my memory in my phone. So, are you the change you want to see in the world? If not, what are you going to do about it? And I'll end it here with a prayer that my guide shared with me. living bless all humanity, living bless all creations. And then we'll see you next Do you hear the ambulance? What's the purpose of that? So other cars will move out of the way? Or is that just a police officer getting his kicks and giggles, doing absolutely nothing? I guess I really don't have respect like I once had for the police because they've done things that they shouldn't have. They let their uniform and their weapon go to their heads, so I'm really not impressed. It's like the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church puts on a robe, any kind of material, and tries to pose as a high holy roller. And look at all the crimes they've committed against humanity. And look at all the Catholic Church's done to children. Posing as evil children. Please like, share, and subscribe. The more that this gets out to others, the better. And you can email me at rianadhabsborg@gmail.com. And I will see you next time. Also, there has to be a better way than being there's got to be better ways than the phone service that's out there. Nobody for any reason should be without a phone. nor do the phone companies have any right to interfere in anyone's connection in the way they choose to make a call. That should have never happened to my phone. It's none of their business. The phone companies have been receiving extra money for how many years? I think since they started. They've been stealing from people with these taxes, taxing this, taxing that, taxing this. It's insane. And how much has the phone company given back to everyone that they've taken from? Do they ever give them a break, financially or in any way? Maybe there'll be some smart genius that comes along and trumps it. And there'll be a better way. And I'm really hoping this for everything that has not been that has just been taking too much and not giving enough, or taking everything and giving nothing in return, or taking and giving very little. If you know that there's a corrupt organization or business